is a clickbaity video because it's titled Ban Semi-Autos. I am not an opponent of semi-automatic weapons. I am here to talk about the opponents of semi-automatic weapons. This whole subject came up because of ABC 7 News Bay Area has become the biggest propaganda mill for leftist ideas since the Democratic Party. I think they hired a new marketing person or whatever, but they every day have been posting videos with titles that have been kind of encouraging their audience to believe certain things. A perfect example today, they posted a video that was a live stream to a town hall held by Ro Khanna, who is one of California's newly elected representatives. I think he's Santa Clara County, which has about 1.5 million people in it. And the description of the live stream was, "Guns have been the bane of the existence for politicians and public figures alike." And I honestly didn't even read the rest of it, because I know that's not news. That's, again, propaganda. That's the source incepting an idea into its audience, which is frustrating because it's just another reminder of how gone journalism is from our from just our lives. Like ABC is a news outlet, which according to the FCC is supposed to, if you are going to have your station exist, you have to provide news. You can't have a news cycle that is dedicated to opinions. So I'll get into the town hall because that's what I'm here to talk about. In the town hall, of course, you had Ro Khanna, who was there to talk about guns, but beforehand, to bring in viewership, was celebrity guest Warriors coach Steve Kerr, Golden State Warriors, meaning the winner of many of late championship rings for the NBA. And I like Steve Kerr. He's a great coach and a good human being who's very compassionate, but he was obviously espousing propaganda that I don't know if he was script-fed any of this, but the bullshit was very pungent coming out of his mouth. Because he goes up there and he talks on the mic, and the first thing he says, "So I've been studying guns, so I understand the situation." And the next thing he says is, "I understand that fully automatic weapons is a different thing than semi-automatic weapons." And here I am thinking, like, oh, is he really gonna say something like true? Is he going to go the route of truth? And then he says, I was close to liking there because I was like, whoa, but wait, what is he gonna say? And he says, "But semi-automatic weapons, you don't need them for hunting. And then there's bump stocks, which makes a semi-automatic weapon the same as a fully automatic weapon. So we don't need semi-automatic weapons." And I was like, oh no. Steve Kerr, I like you so much. Why are you making it hard for me to like you? I like the Warriors. They're a great team, and I love what you do at your team, and I love what you do for the community in Oakland and San Francisco. But what are you doing lying? See, he conflated semi-automatic rifles with everything semi-automatic. So here's what I'll start listing off for you guys, because Ro Kwana talked about that a little bit, and they had a Q&A session with the kids, and the kids are obviously just as clueless as the people talking up on those at the stage today in that town hall, because they're kids, and if they're in the Bay Area, their parents are probably liberal and feeding them some of this information and helping them ask their questions. But I'll stick with Steve Kurt because it's an easy target, so to speak. See what I did there? Semi-automatic rifles. Everything semi-automatic is you pull the trigger once, it fires once. That's it. And semi-automatic is a function of how a weapon functions. Pull the trigger once, one bullet comes out. That's it. If you want to oppose everything semi-automatic, guess what? 95+% of pistols are semi-automatic. Therefore, if you get a bill passed that says ban all semi-automatic weapons, guess what? Now, no longer would handguns, aside from single-action revolvers, which is you pull the trigger once, then you have to cock it back, pull the trigger again, cock it back, pull the trigger again. So every pistol out there would now, by your request, be illegal. But I've seen single-action revolver users shoot them just as fast, or even faster than double-action revolver users or semi-automatic pistol users. So you banning semi-automatic anything would be a little redundant there. On the rifle side, you have lever-action rifles and bolt-action rifles. Bolt-action is like what you see on like a sniper rifle, where you pull the trigger and then you grab the bolt on the top, pull it out, bullet comes out, push it back in, pull the trigger, bolt it, pull the trigger, bolt it. But then you have lever action, which is just like the Winchester rifles from the 1800s. Pull the trigger, lever it, pull the trigger, lever, trigger, lever, trigger, lever, trigger, lever. If you're really good with a lever action rifle, you can shoot it faster than just like a single action revolver. You can shoot it faster than a semi-automatic rifle. So the consistent argument that those on the left are presenting of semi-automatic rifles are dangerous because you can pump a lot of rounds out is a little misguided, because the pumping a lot of rounds out is not contingent on the function of the weapon, only really contingent on the skill of the user. And the other thing too, the left, those on the left want all guns banned, meaning like Dianne Feinstein, Jerry Brown, Ro Kwana, all these outspoken politicians in California and other blue states are going up in their town halls and on their stages pretending to know a lot about guns, talking about the dangers of semi-automatic, not understanding what semi-automatic even is. They're just, now everything's been so conflated lately, they're all assuming that semi-automatic means almost full automatic because you can shoot it quickly. No, it literally just means pull the trigger once, one bullet comes out. Additionally, here's a much more important thing. When fully automatic weapons were officially banned in the 90s by the Clintons, by Bill, the gun crime rate actually went up. The gun murder rate actually went up. It happened in Australia when there was a gun ban. The gun murder rate went up for nearly a decade until it started to decline as soon as they got enough guns off the street. In the United States, there are 88 guns for every 100 people. A gun ban will be disastrous because what it's going to do is what you had in Louisiana post-flood from Hurricane Katrina. police officers and FBI agents would be going door to door to take away guns from law-abiding citizens, because guess what? Now they are no longer law-abiding citizens and now responsible for doing a crime. So this loose language of ban semi-automatic weapons because they're scary is very dangerous, because now you have over half the population, actually no, it's just under half the population of the United States who are gun owners now would become criminals, unless the only guns they have are bolt action rifles, lever action rifles, and single action revolvers, which honestly that's not the first gun someone buys, because it's more cumbersome than a semi-automatic. And honestly, if you're protecting your home, you don't want a single action revolver in your safe or in whatever area you have to have ready for when there is a home invasion. Last stat I want to share, because this is very important. According to, I believe it is the FBI, it's either the CDC or the FBI, but it is a government agency. The amount of lives saved by guns every year is over 10 times the amount of lives taken by guns every year. Almost 500,000 lives are saved every year by legal gun owners. Those are home invasions that are stopped by gun ownership. Those are attempted robberies stopped by gun ownership. Those are attempted shootings stopped by gun ownership. That's the stat that people don't want to share when they talk about gun bans, because when people like me start talking about guns and the things that make guns an important thing to have, people say, well, you don't care about the kids who died in Florida a couple weeks ago? Of course I care about dead kids. Don't stand on the graves of kids to promote your agenda. But important to point out, from rifles, a total, only about 300 people a year are shot by rifles. Yet, tens of thousands of people a year are shot by handguns. So why are they going after rifles instead of handguns? And why aren't people banning alcohol? Because way more people a year are killed by drunk drivers. Anyways, that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one.